I'm just going to press record so that we can start. Okay, so we're recording too. Can you see the little recording light, Lulu, in your... Oh, yes, I can see it up there. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Indian class. I can see you all joining on now. We've got Leslie there and Kay's there. Jenny's there. Excellent. Liz is there. Awesome. We've got Lee, Kate. Yep, Simon, you're there. Good. Oh, Simone's there too. And May. We've got Sarah on. Hi, Sarah. Angie's on too. Terrific. Welcome, everyone. And I can see you're all very good Zoom people because everyone's come on with muted microphones. We appreciate that. Thank you. If you haven't already muted your microphone, please do. My name's Suzanne Mosca and I am one of the team leaders in the Inner West. And we're being joined today by Smita and Lulu, who are going to run a terrific Indian class for us. Now, I'm going to duck my head like this and show you what we're cooking. Look at that in the background. Tumeric latte, a naan bread, and, what was in the way? Chicken korma, delicious. And making our own chicken korma spice mix. And I believe that we've got a really special addition to the menu today, is a dish that Smita makes regularly at home. So I'm looking forward to hearing some really great ideas and tips and recipes on Indian cooking. Could you pop in the chat where you're from, what brings you to the Indian class today, what you're excited to learn to cook. I wish we were all in person so we can actually taste and smell these delicious flavours that are coming to us. Now, you might notice at the bottom of your screen that there's the option for a live transcript. So if you would like the subtitles for today's class, please join now. We've got subtitles up running. That would be great. Now, we've had enough of me for a minute. So what I'm going to do is open us up so that we can see Smita and Lulu. Wait a sec. First, we'll do a big gallery view so we can see everyone who's joined. Thank you. And on to Smita and Lulu. So I'm going to go over to you guys and you can introduce yourselves. Hello.
Hello. Hi.
You go first.
All right, I will. Hi, I'm Lulu. Along with Suzanne, I'm one of the team leaders in Melbourne's Inner West. So thank you everyone for joining us. I know we've got a few people from interstate and I love that about the virtual space that we can connect with people all over the place. And I'd like to introduce Smita, one of my consultants.
Yeah, hi everyone. So I am Smita and I am in Lulu's team. So today we are really excited to bring this Indian class and just cook some very delicious and warming Indian food. Yeah, so we are excited.
We are. I especially can't wait for the Tumeric Latte.
Yeah.
With the change of weather, you get a little bit of a sniffle from the, hay fever and stuff, and I believe it's good for that.
Yeah, you can have it every day.
Oh, I will. So yeah, I'm personally very excited about that one and excited to be in person and cooking with Smita.
Yeah.
Most of our time we've been online together.
Yeah. So when I joined, we were in Melbourne stage 4 restrictions. So this is really good.
Yeah, it's so lovely to come together. So maybe pop in the chat if an in-person class is of interest to you at some stage in the future, because we would love to see your faces in real life.
Yeah. True. Can I let you know, we've got quite a few people that have put down where they're from, including someone from New Zealand, which is very exciting. A lot of people are very thankful to have those subtitles on, and people are here because they just love their Thermomix cooking. Look, we've got someone from Crops Creek. Hello, Kate from Crops Creek in New South Wales. Yeah, so terrific. Lovely to have you all. Well, I guess, maybe what I might just say before you guys go on with the cooking is that some of you might have invited guests today. So some of the people that are on might have invited a guest because you're hoping or, looking to earn a second bowl and blade lid set as a host reward. So these cooking classes that we do online also enable you to earn host rewards if you invite guests along. So you need to invite 2 guests to get a half price host reward. But if you have a guest that comes along today who purchases a Thermomix, you also get the opportunity of earning a second jug and blade set for $99. And what I'll do is show you that offer a bit later for those of you that are interested in seeing it. But if you've got guests here, we offer other cooking classes too to allow that. Anyhow, that's enough gabble from me. I'm handing back over to you guys. And I believe first thing up might be a naan bread. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So we are going to use a naan recipe that is actually on Skinny Mixer's website. So we thought we'll even show that you can cook manually on the Thermomix. You don't need to use the guided cooking only. So you have the option of using your own recipes if you could modify it for your manual cooking. So that's what we're doing, and the link will be shared with you.
I think most people got the link sent to them in their first email that was sent to them just the other day, welcoming them to the class.
Okay, so that's good. So what we are going to do is we're just going to grate some cheese first. We're just using some pasty, and this recipe calls for spinach. But again, I have this in me, to modify recipes. I don't like to follow the recipes. So this is just some mint fresh from my garden, and I'm going to use that instead of the spinach. So yeah, again, goes to show that guided cooking is just a guide and you can use whatever you fancy. So we'll just do this for 5 seconds. 5.
So for you, those of you watching today, you'll see up in the top corner of your screen is another camera that's showing you exactly what Smitta's doing on her screen.
Yeah, so that's the cheese and the mint grated. I have not grated it too fine. So just out in a bowl.
That's terrific. Smitta, is this a recipe that you make often at home?
Yes, I do. I may not use the filling every time, or I just like to use different kinds of filling. So you can change the herbs. You can omit the cheese if you like, or you can even make it like a paratha. So maybe some shredded cauliflower or something, or boiled potato. So even that works really well.
That's great. So it's quite a versatile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I need to do is I just need to clean the bowl a bit because there is all cheese stuck inside.
Just swap the bowls. Okay. Oh, actually, is it all going to go in together? Oh, yeah, you can swap the bowl. I'll clean this one. Thank you. Yeah.
Oh, look, that's handy that you have a second bowl there to use.
Yeah, so this one, it's actually not too bad. I'll give you a look. But I'll just give it a quick swish and that'll be good as new.
Yeah, that's really good because I don't want anything to interfere with the proofing of the yeast. And now the next step is to chop the garlic. So I've just used 3 cloves of garlic. You can go overboard with the garlic. And that's 3 seconds at speed 9.
For those of you who've just joined us, we're currently doing the naan bread, the start of our naan bread. This recipe is from a very popular recipe writer and blogger. who goes under the name of Skinny Mixes. And you can find a lot of Skinny Mixes recipes online. We've included this in your email that you would have got recently, so you will have the recipe for this Skinny Mixes naan.
So that's the garlic chopped in 3 seconds. And
oh, you've frozen, Smitta. Sorry, excuse the technical difficulties. We need one of those screens that goes to, you know, a rabbit or something to say, sorry for the technical difficulties. It's fine though. Hopefully she'll come back in a sec. Lulu, can you hear me? Sorry, everyone. We haven't had a Zoom stop like this for a while. Sorry, everyone. What I might do is close off, maybe kick them out and let them start up again. There we are. They've disappeared on us. We'll see them join us again in a minute. But while they do, I'm just going to pop up on the screen a quick poll. It's just to ask some introduction questions about, you know, what sort of Thermomix you've got, just so that Smitta and Lulu can actually talk to you if we've got a lot of TM31 owners giving you information and things. So please feel free to fill in this poll that's up on the screen. And I can see Smitta's joined us again, but I'll let you do the poll because we may as well utilise that now. Good, we've got a few TM6 owners. I know we've got a few new owners on today too, which is very exciting. So excellent. Thank you, TM31 owner. Excellent. Sorry, just pop into the chat. All right, and I'm going to jump back onto Smitta.
okay, so
You're back again. Hooray!
Yay! So yeah, just to repeat what we did, we just chopped the garlic cloves. Yeah, and no garlic smelling fingers.
Amazing.
So what we're going to do is we're going to proof the yeast in the same bowl because we do want that garlic in the naan dough. So I'm going to take 300 grams of water. So when we are doing a manual recipe, we can go into the scales. Yeah. I'm just adding the water.
It's still on. Suze, can you still see us?
Yeah, I can still see you. We're listening.
Oh, good. Thank you. Sorry, we just lost visibility of you for a second.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
This is what happens when we're not in lockdown and using Zoom every day.
Isn't it just?
Okay.
Yes, thank you.
And
So just for you guys' knowledge, most of our customers that are on today are TM6 owners. And so, yeah, and we've got a few new owners. So if you can give us some tips and hints as we go along for those people that might not have used their Thermomix before.
nice and shiny.
Yeah, these are the rose gold measuring spoons from our mix shop.
Oh, they look so pretty.
Yeah, there's a whole rose gold collection that's come out recently. So if you're looking cookie dough, there's a whole range of rose gold bakeware and yeah. So how much of the yeast are you putting in?
So I'm doing 2 teaspoons of the yeast.
Oh, Lulu, Kay said that she can't see all of the small screen showing the instructions at the top. Kay, can you let me know if you can still see it? It might be that you need to open your screen wider to be able to see. So if you can't see the little camera in the corner of your screen, you may actually have to open up your page a bit more so that you can see that. Sorry to interrupt, Smitta.
Yeah. Oh, that's okay. So we're just going to put everything in together and then knead it. So that's 500 grams of baker's flour. Okay.
So this recipe, it actually kneads for 6 minutes, which is, I find that a little unusual. Most Thermomix recipes knead for 2-3 minutes.
Yeah, three max.
Would you normally knead it for 6 minutes?
I think since they're not doing a separate yeast proofing step, probably that's why they're needing it for
Okay.
longer.
Yeah, I haven't made this
Yes.
recipe before. Very much looking forward.
Yeah, and we need just, oh, thank you.
So if you've just joined us, Smitha's making the naan bread. So we've pre-chopped the cheese with some mint, and we've got all the dough ingredients going in.
And now I'm going to put it's 20 grams of oil.
Hopefully you can all see that little screen up the top. 4, 5, 6. This is the slowest pouring oil bottle ever.
So while you're doing that, we've got people from Sunshine Coast as well up.
Oh, hello. Let me guess. Is Mima there today?
I haven't seen Mima's name. This is Leslie. So Leslie's up in Gympie.
Oh, hi, Leslie.
Oil,
Welcome.
salt.
Your weather's probably better than ours at the moment, Leslie. It's pretty cold here in Melbourne.
Yeah, we've done all that. And we're going to combine this. For 15 seconds on speed 3.
So Smitta just put in the 15 seconds in the first circle by pressing on the first circle, and then in the third circle, turned it up to speed 3. Sorry, Smitta, because your arm was covering when you did it, so I just realised then.
Sorry, yeah.
No, that's all right. Maybe turn it from the other side, like when you're putting it on, go from the other side of the Thermomix.
Okay.
So put your hand around the other side of the Thermomix.
Yeah.
Use it, yeah.
So
All right. So now we are going to knead it. So that's for 6 minutes. So we go to the dough mode and just for 6 minutes.
Super.
Yeah, so while that one's kneading, I thought I'd like to quickly show you how we make a spice mix. We're going to use Korma spice mix today. We're also going to use garam masala, which is homemade, but I might steal this little camera here. We'll put it over to here.
Perfect.
Good.
Yep, that's good now. That's best.
Okay, so this is our spice mix blend. And I'm going to show you, because this recipe is going to step you through step by step. But what I've got here is, if I can get this camera right. There it is. Oh, and the table's moving a lot.
Yep.
There we go. Yeah. So that's what we've got in there is green cardamom seeds, 1.5 cinnamon quills, some coriander seeds, and some cumin seeds. So this recipe, it's actually going to, because it's a guided recipe, it will step you through. So it's saying 25 grams of cumin seeds, 25 grams of coriander seeds. Usually you'd weigh them all in, but because I've got them all ready to go, I'm just going to skip through 18 green cardamom pods and we pop them in. So I'm just going to pour that whole thing in. They look beautiful just sitting there like that, don't they? So usually, I suppose, traditionally, you'd mill these with a mortar and pestle.
Yeah, or yeah, we can use a coffee grinder as well.
So one little trick that Smitha and I both agreed on we had to show you was this very, very simple piece of paper towel. So I'm just going to pop that on top of the lid, put the MC in on top of there. So as you can see, it's sitting there like that. And because the MC is actually designed to let steam and things out, there's a tiny gap around the MC. So what we're going to do today is we're going to actually put this paper there just so that the dust doesn't fly up as this mills.
So I think it's going to roast first. So should we keep
Oh, is it roasting?
Off?
Oh, yeah, good point. Great point. So we're going to roast first. So 2 minutes, 120 on speed 2. So this is going to roast. So hopefully you can hear us all right
You can. I might suggest that perhaps putting the other Thermomix on the ground, the one that's kneading, just so that it's away from the noise. Put your Thermomix that's kneading down onto the ground.
Down. Okay. Yep. Just a sec.
Excellent. While the girls are doing that, I'll let you know that we had most people on have Thermomix 6. One person has a Thermomix 3.1 today, and it looks like you're all after a whole lot of delicious food, because a lot of people are wanting to learn how to cook healthy food, cook delicious food, save some time in the kitchen, and become a bit more creative. So that's a great tip that you made before, Lulu, about the spices, that you can make up your own spice blends, as you said, using this same function and this same process. So by dry roasting these seeds and then milling them, you can alter the things that you put in those recipes so that it becomes your own homemade spice mix. Smita, do you have your own homemade garam masala that you make at home? That's a particular one that your family like?
Yeah, so we just like use all the spices possible, whole spices. And actually, the funny thing is that I don't weigh them out. And every time you actually get a new concoction.
That's interesting. So you get a different flavour each time. Oh, that's great. And that just shows how you can adapt your own recipes.
Yeah.
In Thermomix. Sorry, I'm just being dramatic. These are some of the spice mixes we're going to use today. I've got a stack of spice mixes in my cupboard that I've made. So this one's my garam, not as good as Smithers, but we'll see. And then this is the Korma spice mix, which we're making today. I've also got things like homemade taco seasoning and all different things. All right. So this one has now roasted. So that's a dry roast. Smells great, doesn't it? So I'll show you.
Beautiful.
It needs to cool. It's quite warm in there. It says to cool for 5 minutes. So we've got less than a minute left on our kneading.
Yeah.
So maybe if any, because we're going to mill this in a minute, but we're just waiting for it to cool down.
Just while doing the whole spices, I just thought that there was a little thing that I will talk about, green cardamoms, because we put them whole here, and throughout my life, whenever I have used green cardamom, because we use them a lot in Indian desserts, we always peel them and get only the seeds, and usually that green covering is thrown away.
Oh, wow.
And now I've started, like, I make my own chai masala as well. But I use the whole green cardamom. And you know what? Actually, it's so expensive. And I was thinking, we are actually throwing away half of the thing. So that's such a waste of money.
Yeah. And it's got so much flavour in there.
It does.
Yeah.
A Thermomix can mill chickpeas, and it can obviously mill green cardamom.
Yeah. You put up a post the other day of your besan flour that you made. Do you want to tell everyone about that?
Yeah, so I started milling my own flour, and so besan mill chickpeas or own rice, and I also make something like a mixture of all different flours by using different kinds of millets and grains and beans and everything, and it's really high protein and gluten free. So that's something that we can talk about, so at next class maybe.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so that one's just finished kneading.
Yeah, and we get it out on our thermomat.
So the Thermomat is one of those lovely host rewards that you can earn by hosting cooking experiences or inviting friends to these cooking classes.
That's a great tip to Smita. Do you want to tell people what you're doing
Yeah,
there?
so that's the back side of the blade, and you can just twiggle this around and the dough will just fall out. So as you can see, it's just falling out. More for the hands free. There is some that's stuck here that I can just pull it out. Now there is some dough stuck under the blades. So I'm going to do a quick turbo, and that's just going to throw off whatever dough is stuck under the blades. We really don't want to waste any of this good stuff.
So, Lulu, can I ask a question? Somebody's asked whether it's possible for us to highlight that little screen, or is that just on your...
Oh, no, I can make it a bit bigger if that helps.
Yeah, would that be okay? Because
Yeah.
we've had a couple of people say they wouldn't mind seeing this, the screen that you're working on, the Thermomix, a little bit bigger.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's probably best if you are joining from a phone or something, it is probably better to join your computer. Let me see if I can do this. The only problem with that is it might make us a little smaller. I might have to,
That's all right. I think we can see you generally, and then if you just do like anything that you're going to show us together, maybe do that on the side where you are with the Thermomix rather than the side Smithers on.
how does that look?
Can I have feedback from you audience members? Is that a bit clearer for you guys? Yep, people are saying great.
Okay, fantastic.
Yeah, so I'm just going to leave this in this thermomat for proofing, and we'll continue with the rest of the recipes in the meanwhile.
Yeah, so I am going to just mill these spices because that will have cooled down. So if you have just joined us, welcome. I'm Lulu and Smithers, my colleague here. I'm doing what am I making? A Korma spice mix in here. So I'm just going to mill it for 1 minute on speed 10. So Suze, we won't be able to chat while this is on. Maybe
No,
you can for a minute.
That's fine. I'll jump over onto the host rewards for people.
Okay, thank you.
So I'll just let you see on the screen, Lulu's put it on 1 minute on speed 10. And for those of you who have just joined us, she's put a piece of paper towel just under the lid, under the measuring cup on the lid, so that you don't get spice mix all over your kitchen. It is a good reminder, though, to people that you can put a piece of paper towel, something very thin that's porous, for things like dry roasting, when you're milling dry roasted nuts, but don't ever block that hole with anything like tea towels or things for other types of cooking, because the measuring cup that sits in your lid enables steam to release, and it's got some air holes in it, which are quite important because there's no other place for the Thermomix to breathe from. So you need to be able to keep those breathing holes available. So as Lulu's milling away, I'll just show you the host rewards. So as I mentioned earlier, some people are hoping to earn some host rewards by inviting friends today. So you can see on here that for a very limited time only, actually until Tuesday morning, we have the opportunity for hosts to earn a second jug and blade set if they have somebody at their cooking experience or at a cooking class who purchases. So if you've got a guest here today who's looking at purchasing a Thermomix, and they do, then you'd be able to qualify to earn a second jug and blade set for the very special price of $99. Other host rewards, as you can see here, if you host a cooking experience and nobody purchases, you still get terrific price on a lot of these items. So the bread mats are only $25. The small oval thermoserver is $25, $30 for the white thermoserver that ferments and sits in your varoma. And then we've got the other two regular thermoservers, the oval and the round. But of course, if somebody purchases generally, you would get one of those items for free. Look, I'll stop that now and we'll go back to our kitchen. Stop sharing, sorry about that. There, Lulu's back. How did you go?
Oh, this just smells so amazing.
I think I can smell it from here.
You probably can. Well, you're not that far away. And, if you have a look at the lid, you can see that none of that dust got through. So I am just going to scrape this into here. And I keep this, and I quite often use this quite a lot of curries, but it's also a really handy spice mix to have, as are any of our thermal spice mixes, because you can build up your little containers in the kitchen. It does make quite a lot. I'm just going to pour it in so you can see. And what you can do is you can even, marinate some meat or some tofu or something in your spice mix, put it in the fridge, go to work and come home at the end of the day. It's nicely marinated. So there's a beautiful bowl of spice mix. And then, it's all ready to cook with at the end of the day. Even for something super quick, just pop it on some meat and then pop it in the stove or in the oven. Bit of yogurt.
Yeah.
All right. So, Smita, what were you going to make next?
So I'm going to make the turmeric latte that you've been doing so much.
Yeah. So we might on that and then move over to the curry. We're going to go the other way around, but I hope it's okay if we ad-lib a little bit.
So turmeric latte, that's the sort of thing that you can buy at cafes and things nowadays. They're really popular, aren't they, these turmeric lattes?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they are. But so then if it's so easy to make them at home, why would you want to go to a cafe and spend the money? And as usual, I am not going to follow the recipe to the T, and some modifications. Because this turmeric latte, it's a bit of a fancy name, but we have been in Indian culture, we have been using the turmeric milk, or call it haldi ka doodh, and we have been using it since ages. So I will just stick to a traditional recipe and maybe skip one or two things here on the guide. So yeah, I hope you like my version of it.
Can't wait to see your version.
So I won't be using the.
Oh, you're not using the ghee?
No, so you can use the ghee for the korma.
Yep.
So we are going to use some fresh turmeric and fresh ginger. So when you buy either of them in the market, just see that so there are a lot of young ginger in the market, and that has a very thin and soft skin. So, and same goes with the turmeric. Again, it looks bright orange, and that is fresh turmeric. So when it goes more kind of brownish, that's a bit old turmeric. It is going to give you yellow color. It is going to have all the health benefits, but you will just get a lot of fiber when we grind it. So just take this turmeric and the ginger, and this recipe calls for some coconut oil, and that's the and I didn't want to use a fat along with dairy. That is pure maple syrup. And if you like, you can just use sugar, or you can even use honey. It's completely okay to even skip the sweet out, totally out of it. And now I'm going to grate this. So I'll go on the other side so my hand doesn't come.
I noticed that nice noise on the Thermomix, and if you go into your settings, you can actually change the sound that your Thermomix makes. So have a play and go into the settings of your Thermomix 6 or your Thermomix 5, and you'll find all sorts of different sounds you can make it make.
So I would have just liked this to be finer, so we can actually take the step. You want? Do you want that?
No.
So Smitta's going to show us now how to repeat that step. So
yeah, so we just we're going to repeat the step. So anytime you're in a recipe, you can always use the back arrow or the next, and you can go between the steps. And at the same time, there are these 3 dots here. Finger comes in between, is it?
perfect.
They can take you to the recipe detail, and each step in a recipe is a hyperlink. So if you click on that, it will take you exactly to the step that you wanted to go to.
That's terrific tip. So you can go into those recipes there and have a look at the full recipe while you're cooking. Terrific.
You can access the scales like that as well. And okay, so on the other side.
So we're repeating the step of chopping the garlic and turmeric, is that right?
Yeah, just repeating that step.
Yeah. And it's the nice thing about making choices, isn't it? About what texture you want things. You can really put your own spin on that texture.
Yeah. So now we have chopped it away. This smells so good. The turmeric is really very fresh.
Yeah, it smells beautiful.
Yeah, and now as you can see here, there is a small video, instructional video that has popped up, and that is this new feature in 6 where it will just show you
I love that.
yeah. Okay.
And that little video, hey Smitta, when you're using the screen, can you reach from the other side? I know it's going to be more awkward for you, but it just allows us to see it better.
I did it again. It's just
No, it's I understand why.
Side is all coming ahead.
So that step, I guess, is important where you're scraping down the bottom to make sure that it's released so that you can add the milk and it mixes together, yeah?
Yeah.
Ah.
And milk. So we are using dairy here. You can use any dairy-free milk of your choice. And this is the chai masala that I was speaking about. Just a small pinch goes a long way, and it smells really good.
It smells amazing.
Now, Smitta, do you think if people put in the chat that they were interested in getting that recipe, you'd be happy to send them out the chai masala recipe?
Yes, absolutely.
Excellent. So pop into the chat if you're interested in getting a copy of that recipe.
Smitta's got a lovely blog, so a few other things you might want to check out on there.
Yeah, which are work in progress. I thought I'll just update the chai masala thing.
Progress, not perfection.
Alison's asked in here, which you reckon is better, a turmeric latte or a golden latte, or are they quite similar?
They are quite similar. They're almost the same actually.
Yeah.
Excellent.
As I said, Tumeric Latte or latte, these are just fancy names which cafes have used, but it's just the milk infused with turmeric, and yeah, we have been using it since ages.
Fantastic. Well, we've got a few people who'd love those recipes, so yes, please. So the chai latte recipe, that one's the one on Cookie Dough, is it, Smitta?
The golden latte, yeah.
The golden latte.
Yeah.
So for everyone who's watching, in the chat box, I've popped up that recipe again. Many of you would have got a confirmation and reminder about the class that would have given you the links to these recipes. But I think for those of you who might have joined us a little bit later or registered later, you would have just been given the link to the class. So if you need those recipes, I'm just popping them up in the chat for you. So you'll see above.
So, Suze, I might jump to this because we are running a little bit behind time and I want to just keep it moving along.
Great.
So, to make the chicken and cashew cornfish. So 30 grams of ghee. So this is Smita's home ghee. Now I'm just going to tar those scales because I took the lid off and it knows the lid's off. So
hard.
no, it's not so hard actually. It's actually quite soft. I just this. So ghee is quite an easy thing to make in the Thermomix, isn't it?
Yeah, very. Because the best thing that you don't have to just stand there studying or looking after it if it boils over or burns, because the Thermomix is just going to do all that for you and you can walk away, do other things.
About half an hour, doesn't it?
No, 2 hours.
2 hours. There you go. All right. And 2 bay leaves, 2 dried bay leaves, 2 whole cloves. Onion. So this one's just cut into wedges. So, you know, sort of approximately 4 centimetres. So add those in. 25 grams of fresh ginger, which is cut into slices. 3 garlic cloves. Now, who's a less is more, a more is less thing with garlic? I've got 4 or 5 there.
That's like me.
50 grams of roasted cashews. Now, these are supposed to be unsalted, but I only had salted ones here, so I'm going to use them. And instead, it does have salt in the recipe. Oh, no, actually, we might just skip that for now because the kid.
Do you have chili powder? Any paprika?
Yeah, I do. I
We
do.
could just put that.
All right, we'll add that in. So I'm not going to add the salt. Ground turmeric, which I've got here. So what's it saying? 1/4 teaspoon. Turmeric. All right, I'll just powder. Do you want to tell me a little bit more about your ghee while I do that?
Yeah. So that's the ghee, and any Indian household uses a lot of ghee, and so does mine. We go through we use unsalted butter and make the ghee. So in a traditional method, we do have to use a pan, keep stirring it, and look after it so that it doesn't stick to the bottom. But when I do it in the Thermomix, it goes for 2 hours, but those 2 hours I don't have to be around it. I can just go and do all my, I can even go out of the house, doesn't matter.
All right, so put a little bit of chili in there. Now, this recipe is asking for blade cover. A blade cover, but we will talk about that in a minute. So we've got all our spices and things in there. Just going to put the splash guard on. So this is what we use for high heat. It comes with the TM6. These squiggly lines on your screen is the high heat mode. So it can get up to 160. So it's saying 5 minutes on high heat. So we just turn that dial, goes, the little safety arms close, and off it goes. So that's just going to basically roast those for 5 minutes. The whole thing with the high heat, the blades stop. So it uses that whole surface area, and you know, really, you can really brown things. And how's that for timing?
Yeah. Yeah, it's we will blend and froth it up.
Okay. So if you just joined us, Smita's working on the Tumeric Latte here, and on this one we've got the chai latte. I mean the chicken korma cooking.
I'll just shift this here.
Which one of these do you want? The smaller one.
Smita, have you tried it with dried turmeric before, the latte?
Yeah.
And it works well?
Yeah, it does. You just need half the quantity because the dried spice is more concentrated.
That's a great answer. Thank you. One of Rachel put up in there, could the turmeric be dry? So that's a good tip. So you'd use half as much if you're using dry.
Yeah. So now we have to blend this because it will make a froth. We are going to use my hand.
It doesn't matter. Only for a second. It's fine.
Terrific.
I'm sorry, my internet was a bit unstable. Hear us?
But you can see Smitta's sort of frozen again, but she'll come back in and out for us. I think they're just a bit unstable, but she's slowly turning that dial up to speed 9. So starting at speed 5 and then just taking about 5 to 10 seconds to move it up to speed 9. Sorry, Smitta, off you go. You're back again. Oh no, you're frozen again. Oh no, you're back. Lulu, can you check? We can't hear you anymore. No, we can't hear you. Can't hear you. Lulu, you're on mute. Did you know that? Oh, sorry, everyone. I think we're a bit stuck at the moment because I can't communicate with them. I might have to send them a message. They're clearly telling us very exciting things. Wait a sec. I'll see if I can get their attention this way. No. Lulu, we can't hear you. We can't hear you. Oh, good. Perfect. Excellent. The joy of Zoom.
Hi, we're back. So that was just frothing up our Tumeric Latte. Now we're going to pour it into this little thermo jug, which is available from our mixture. It's a bit like our thermo service. It's double-walled, insulated, great for your gravies and things. And today we're going to pour our frothy latte into there. I'm going to strain it through here.
So nice.
So I'll put it that way for you.
Yeah, I just take it with my left hand.
Okay. It looks so good. The colour, we'll see it in a minute. We'll pour it into the bright glasses, but it's this beautiful yellow colour. The things I love about the Indian food and the way of cooking is that real mentality that food is medicine.
Yeah.
So like, I know you were telling me you were giving this to your daughter when she had a cold.
Yeah. So that winters are coming and, you know, all of us are going to one after we are going to be using a lot of turmeric latte, turmeric milk, and you know, you can in Ayurveda, turmeric is so important. Use it on our skin as well.
So what does it do for your skin?
It has antiseptic properties. So yeah, but it's a bit strong, so you need to dilute it with some milk or some yogurt before you put it on your skin.
Oh, look at the colour. Can you see that on your screen?
It looks amazing.
Yeah.
How much would you give for that in a cafe?
Yeah. Like $5.50 maybe? I don't know.
Absolutely.
Has anyone bought a Tumeric Latte in a cafe? Let us know in the chat. So look at this, Nita. Sorry, I just got to show you. You want to see too?
So good.
Would you like to see too? Okay. This is the Korma. So we've just high heat roasted. Those onions are beautiful and translucent, and flavour started coming out. So now we're going to add 25 grams of tomato paste. And this is a tomato paste that Smita has made.
Yeah, we just had a glut of tomatoes this year, so I've been a crazy tomato lady.
Crazy tomato lady. So,
Who else has been making their own tomato paste at home?
25 grams. Yeah, it's great to use up all those tomatoes. A lot of people have been getting into that home gardening. So there we go, there's our tomato paste. Now this is where we're going to use that Korma spice mix. So that other one is still actually hot. I've still got my container that's a staple in my pantry. So I'm going to use this one, just tie my scales. I'm in an older house. Oops, sorry, I went forwards. So my floorboards are rickety. So 20 grams of this spice mix. And it's fantastic. We do get asked a lot from our new Thermomix customers about, you know, what they need when they start. You know, what should we buy? And I always think it's best to just make these spice mixes and make your pastes and things as you go. So, for example, if you're making a green chicken curry, make the spice, make the paste and freeze some for later. You know, and as you go, you'll have this stockpile in your pantry. All right, so now insert the measuring cup. So we're going to give that next. So that's going to go for 2 minutes on 120 on speed 2. Now I'm going to try this latte. Oh, that is absolutely divine. Okay, so what I'm going to do, while going, we're going to start rolling out our naan bread. So, and I'm definitely going to leave this one for Smita. She'll be back in just a second. But yeah, Smita's got some great tips when it comes to cooking naan. She did a really good roti bread on one of our classes. I'm really sorry, Smita. I couldn't wait. I jumped ahead and I had some of that Tumeric Latte and it's just beautiful. I don't know if you can see all the froth on the top, but I would pay $6 for that in a cafe.
You tempt me, I have to take a sip.
Do you need a bit of flour for this?
Yeah. So, or maybe some oil will do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because this is silicon, it works better with oil.
Okay. I'll put that for you. So, now, do you need anything else for that?
I'll just use for the goat.
Okay. So can everyone hear us all right?
I think it's improved. We haven't had we had a couple of blackouts before where you just stopped moving, but I think it seems like it's a bit better.
It seems to black out. So, sorry about that. Now I'll move this to the side so everyone can see what you're doing.
Yeah, I'm just scraping the dough out because it's stuck a bit.
Okay. So while you do this, I might just keep this recipe going.
Yeah.
So over here, back to the chicken cashews. Oh, so that's now the spices have roasted through because we put that korma in. So we're in with the cashews and the delicious. So now we're going to add in 150 grams of the whipping or pouring cream. Can you all see my screen?
Indeed, we can. Oh, so you've just teared those scales back.
I did, because I took the lid off. 127, 30, 40. So you could use alternatives in this if you were dairy free, couldn't you, Smita?
Yeah, you could use coconut milk. It is the flavor a bit, but it's going to be delicious still.
Still would.
Would yogurt work?
Well, this next step is actually yogurt. So it does have yogurt in there as well. And this is homemade yogurt. So made in the Thermomix. And that's one of the things that I just love about the Thermomix 6. There's a number of yogurt recipes got a fermentation mode. So you can actually put your yogurt on and leave it overnight. I'm just going to give that a little scrape down, get all those spices down there. So we've got the yogurt, all the yummy spicy bits in there. So go next. So that's going to blend for 1 minute, because remember we had all those big bits of cinnamon, we had you know, all the spices and the cardamom pods and all those sort of things. So I'm going to blend this for 1 minute. Meanwhile, you might want to watch what Smita's doing over here as she's making the roti, dividing it into portions.
Yeah, this is a bit of a sticky dough. So what, instead of flour,
Lulu, could you move the bottle out of the way? The bottle of oil's in the way of the picture. Sorry, everyone, we've got the bottle of oil in the way of the picture at the moment, but you can see in the background that Smita is cutting the pieces into about 8 different naan pieces, or maybe more. I'll get them to move that bowl, the oil bottle, in just a second. Actually, I might wave to them. Hello, can you move the oil bottle? It's blocking the camera. Move the oil bottle, the bottle of oil, move it out of the way. Excellent, thank you.
Sorry.
Oh.
No, that's all right.
So, oh, here, would you like, you don't need that. It'll be fine. Okay, so now blended all those cooked, so they sauteed all the spices and the onions whole, and so that has effectively made a curry paste. So this is a korma paste now, because it's blended all those onions and those yummy things. So now we're just going to add in 400 grams of chicken. Now this recipe is a 30-minute recipe. This recipe, it says 400 grams of chicken. So there are other recipes that are large. So this is one of the perhaps smaller size portions. Yeah. Oh, I didn't offer you the rolling pin, Smita. You seem to be doing a great job without it. This is our beautiful French rolling pin from the mix shop.
Yeah, that's big.
Big and beautiful. All right. So I'm just going to scrape that down so the chicken's in.
Just take some oil again.
Yeah. And yeah, the oil on the hand's a good trick, isn't it?
Yeah, because this is a bit of a sticky dough. So I'm just using my hand to flatten this out. This is our cheese and mint mixture. Put that in the center. Bunch up all the sides.
Yeah. Wow. Oh.
And put the seam side down. Should I put oil on the rolling pin?
Yeah. Yes. So I hope everyone got to hang on for just a few more minutes. This curry is going to cook for another 11 minutes. And while it's doing that, we thought
Sorry, that's
okay. Yeah. Grab some oil. Sorry. Good.
I might as well do it with my hand.
You prefer to do it?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Should I turn the burners on?
Yeah, we'll do. That's a great idea.
I'm just going to go turn the burners on, and so as you might like to find that other camera that's in the kitchen.
I sure will.
Stove after Smita's got these ready to go. Hopefully everyone can hang on for another probably 10 to 15 minutes, I'd say. What do you think, Smita?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll just go.
I reckon it's worth waiting and having a look.
Yeah.
Let's have a look. Now we're going to jump over now into Lulu's kitchen. You can see on the screen And we've got a hot plate going on.
This and pushing the edges out to flatten this out.
It's a great image, Smitta, of you working with that dough. It looks quite beautiful with the Thermomix in the background, and then you've got that those beautiful naans that you're making.
Thank you. I'll just put some oil on the plate as well. Great idea.
Who has made naan bread at home before? Has anyone got any other tips that they want to include? I tend to make this quite a lot at home, Smitta, and my kids like taking them for lunchbox instead of sandwiches.
Okay, that's good.
That sounds fantastic. These look great. So the Skinny Mix's recipe used spinach, didn't it? But
Yeah.
You chose to use mint. That's right, because you have it in your garden.
Yeah, I have a lot of mint in my garden.
Yeah.
And mint gives that fresh hit, and I just love it.
Mm. So while that's cooking away, sorry, I'm just coming around here to show you. So I use the Thermomix 6 has a few modes in it. So I used a rice cooker mode before, and I've got the rice being kept warm in this white thermoserver. So you can see there. So if you're 31 owner, you probably might not have come across these ones. So these are now in our catalogue of host rewards as well. So something you can get when you host a cooking experience. So we will be serving up with some rice later. So Smitta, if you like, I can keep these.
Okay.
If you want to take a couple and go and
Yeah, sure. I'll do that.
roast them. I'll put it on sort of medium heat. Is that right?
Yeah, that'll do. So naans are usually a bit thicker, and we don't make them very thin like the rotis. That should do. Doesn't want to leave my hand.
So I'm curious to know while we're doing this. Suze, oh, you found the kitchen can. Fantastic. So we'll move into there. So while we're moving across, and I'll come and adjust the camera once Smitta's in there, would love to hear, because we got a really good response today for the Indian class, and we would love to know if there are other types of classes that you might be interested in. If there's perhaps, Asian cooking or Thai or Italian or anything in particular that you might like to see, put it in the chat. Love that sort of feedback. Right, I'm just going to go and adjust the camera for Smitta.
I'll just get some.
Oh yeah.
It will smell really good with the ghee.
Oh, there's some spoons in the top drawer. Yeah, thank you.
While we're crossing over into that kitchen, I'll pop the other poll up. It's just also asking about, what you'd like to see next, and just if there's any follow-up we can do with you after this class. So if you wouldn't mind filling that one in, that'd be great.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So we have this skillet here. You know what? It's a very sticky dough.
Oh, Thai. That sounds good, Leslie. Good idea. Oh, Lulu, I can't hear you.
I changed some up.
Oh, that's good. I thought you were saying something to us. So I think we might have lost Smitta. Wait a sec. Can others see Smitta on there? Can you see Smitta on your screen, Lulu?
Yeah.
Oh, I've just lost her on mine. That's all right.
See Smitta?
It's all right, I'll find it. But I can't
So
hear.
I think I'll just focus this on the skillet. Is it working? Yeah. It's just stuck on this plate. Oh, yeah. Might be a good idea if we roll it here itself. Okay. Is that enough? Yeah, it should be.
Sorry, can everyone hear us? And can everyone see us?
Yeah, so Angie says she can see Smita. Others? Oh, what sort of pan is that on the stovetop, Lulu, that you're using or that Smita's using?
Yeah, so that one is, oh, sorry, I'm going to mute this one. Hang on. Getting your echo. It's just a big flat pan. I'm not
Cast iron?
Yeah, it's cast iron. Yep.
And could you put these in a hot oven if you wanted to, Smita?
You could. I have not tried it in the oven. Because you know what? You'll have to roll them all out at once and then put it on a tray and put it in the oven. I rather prefer just keep rolling and put it on the pan.
Yeah. I know that with the recipe in the cookie dough for naan, you can oven do them, and we tend to do them just on a pizza stone in the oven.
Okay.
So we have the oven very hot and just put them in, and you can do 2 at a time if you need to, because they only take about 5 or 6 minutes to rise.
Okay.
But I'm interested to see how it works on the stove top. Are you adding more oil when you do that too?
Yeah, so once I turn this, I will be putting a little bit of ghee.
And so ghee's probably better to use than olive oil for this sort of thing, isn't it? Because it's got a higher burn rate.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Lulu, how's yours going? Oh,
I'm going to see it in the kitchen, actually.
Excellent.
Yeah, we were finding they're not transferring that well. Can you hear us over here?
Yes.
Okay. So, oh, that smells amazing. So I've just brought these over here.
We forgot the nigella seeds.
Okay. Wow. Can you all see the stove okay? I wish you could smell it. Oh, and the oil. The oil as well. So who's going to try these naan breads out?
Oh, yes, lots of people, Lulu. We've got Angie's going to try them. I think May's going to try them. I'm going to try them for sure.
Yeah. They smell great with the mint.
And as I mentioned earlier, if you didn't get the email reminding you of today's class with the links to the recipes, I've popped them in the chat. And when we send you a thanks for coming email, we'll have those recipes in there as well. Looks terrific. So while you're flipping and rolling, do you want me to show people a bit of cookie dough?
Yeah, that would be great if you show them that. And we'll be ready to serve up in a minute, I think.
Excellent. All right. So Smita, I'm just watching just before I do that, that you're just putting a blob on and then spreading it over with the spatula.
Yeah, so that's the ghee.
Yeah.
Because it's hard, I'm not able to just tip it there. It's become hard because of the winter.
So is it like coconut oil? It goes a bit soft in summer and hard in winter.
Yeah, it just goes liquid like coconut oil.
Awesome. All right, I'm going to jump and share my screen with everyone for cookie dough. So we're just going to give you a little quick run through of cookie dough and finding Indian recipes on your cookie dough screen. So here you can see up on the screen that I've got my cookie dough here. Hello, Suzanne. What would you like to cook? Well, today I'd like to cook naan bread. So I pop naan into my search here and a whole lot of different naan recipes will come up. Now, my filters have all recipes from all different countries, and I've just specified I'd like the ones in English first. And so if I want to look at recipes in another language, I can choose that through my filters here. But my default is all recipes that are in English. So you can see there are quite a few naan bread recipes in here. So you can search things in cookie dough that way by just putting the recipe into the search bar. If I go back here, there we are, go back to hello, Suzanne, then I can actually make more specific searches. So I can go into search here and I can choose either to search recipes or I can search through collections. So if I was feeling particularly like doing an Indian dinner party, which I'm quite feeling like now, I could put in here Indian and I can find out a whole lot of Indian recipe books. So let's have a look what they have here. Oh, Indian feast books. They look nice. And even if I just make that even more specific and just more broad and just put Indian in, let's see what comes up. Look, these are all the Indian books that have recipes in English on cookie dough. And to get into any of those books, you can just click on it like this and you can save it if you like the look of it. So if I particularly like the look of that one, I could actually save that collection. Why not? The Hytalik flatbreads like that. And then I'd be able to find that all the time in, my recipes.
Thank you so much. We might need to jump back here.
We'll jump back?
Yeah, thank you.
Sorry, I'm just going to get rid of the screen. Sorry.
Thank you for that, Sue.
No, it's all right. Tech difficulties getting away. There we are. Stop sharing. Look, there we are. Oh, Lulu, I might come back into your room. Are you in the other room?
Yeah, I'm in the other room.
Let's return to Lulu in the main room.
Hi.
There she is.
Hello, back again. Righto. So, our course is almost done. So now I've asked them to some garam masala. So I've got my pre-made garam masala, the 1 teaspoon. These are my beautiful rows of these food steps from the steps.
Lulu, you're a bit echoey. Do you want to turn off Smitta's? Yeah.
Is that a bit better?
Yeah, much better. Thank you. Sorry, you were telling us about those beautiful spoons.
Yeah, they're so good. Have you got a set yet, Suze?
No, they're on my next list of things to get.
I think they're... So, all right. So now it just says stir with the spatula to combine. So that chicken is looking like it's cooked through. I'm just going to give that a stir. That was actually that was pretty much it. So we're just hand stirring that garam masala through. So that's just to add a bit of spice at the end. So this curry, you know, at any stage with your Thermomix cooking, you can always just check, you know, just check the meat, just take some, check it's cooked through, which it is. Normally they get it right because it is triple tested, but, you know, there's always variables. So if you've perhaps, sorry, just get my rice, perhaps you might have, you know, cut your chicken larger or something. So here's our rice that's all been nice and warm. I'm just going to serve up a bit of rice. A bit of rice and then pop some of this beautiful chicken korma on. Now, one thing, might actually pop it into here. So this is actually a special this month, the blade cover and the oval thermoserver, which is a great thermoserver. Love it for dinner parties and serving up. It's a really fancy one. So I'm actually going to pour this curry into here. So you can just see, because that will keep food warm for 2 to 4 hours or cold. So you can make a sorbet, keep it cold. But I would say it's between the white one and the oval. Not that we have favourites, but they would probably be my favourite. So that's curry in there. And I am just going to serve a little bit on that rice. Two served up. Now I will put a bit of coriander on the top of that. Potentially even some of those nigella seeds that Smitta's got over there. And then that is pretty much. So yeah, that's the curry done. How's Smitta going with the?
It's delicious. Actually, Lulu, could you pick up your little screen cam and just show us inside that bowl? It wasn't very clear, sorry, when you lifted it up. Oh, they look delicious. Yeah, oh, delicious. And you can see that chicken still kept its integrity too. That's great, beautiful.
Yeah, and these are quite small pieces of chicken. So these are chicken thigh, which does tend to stay together better. If you were using chicken breast and you want to stay tender but not break up so much, you might want to make use of the blade cover. So that blade cover is $39 in the mix shop. But if you were to purchase a Thermomix this month, you can get the oval thermoserve, which is worth, well, I can't remember. So
145, I think.
Yeah, and the blade cover for the price of a blade cover. So fantastic little offer that we've got this month.
Awesome. Smitta's naans are looking amazing. You should go and steal one, Lulu, to put with those.
I'm going to pop in there. Yeah, so I think at that stage, how are we going there, Smitta?
Yeah, we have naans ready.
Beautiful. Can everyone hear us in here?
Yeah, they look terrific.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we have a few naans ready.
Sorry, I'll try and stop that one.
Lovely. That's terrific. Look, I think, Lulu, if you're happy, I'm going to let people come off mute and start asking questions. We've only got 17 people on, and then rather than just listening to our voices, we can hear some other questions that people have.
That sounds like a good idea.
Excellent. So feel free if you've got any questions or if you want to make any comments to take yourself off mute.
I just wondered if you can freeze that naan bread.
They're just asking if you can freeze the naan bread.
You should be able to. Yeah, you should be able to. Yeah, maybe try without putting any filling and just making a plain naan bread. It will hold itself better.
What about before? I was going to say, and it may be in between some baking paper might just help too to freeze.
Yep, they're very good tips. By putting baking paper in between each naan, it will help stop the freezer frost getting into the naan breads.
Yeah. So we might, yeah, so we're pretty much ready. We've got the other stuff served up.
Okay.
Just waiting for these. Just waiting for these two. Yeah.
Perfect. What a shame. I've realised I've got some things I need to drop to your house this afternoon, Lulu.
Oh, well, there's plenty of food here, Suze. And anyone else who's in West Footscray, come along.
I think I've timed it well.
So, Suze, do we have a poll to run at the end?
Yeah, look, I started running it before and people had filled it in. We might pop it back up again. And
Okay.
if you haven't put your answers in that poll, here we are. Let's have a look. So we've just got some questions here up on the screen. You can see if you haven't filled the poll in for us yet, it's just really useful to have this information from you, because then we can actually, you know, take what you say and, you know, try and make our classes better and better. We will continue to do online classes as well as in-person classes. So for you people that are close to Melbourne or in West Footscray or in the Western area, we do run an in-person class every third Saturday at the West Footscray Neighbourhood House, and they have varying topics. So contact your consultant if you want to find out more about those. We also run 2 classes every month on easy essentials for people who are wanting to learn more about basics in their Thermomix, things like making buttermilk, making bread, doing high heat vegetables and things like that. We've just finished off a weekend of lots of classes. We had a cocktail class last night and a Greek class on Thursday. So there should be a whole new range of classes coming up in the May. So keep an eye out on Inner West Thermomixes, which is our Facebook page, shared Facebook page, for all of our customers and consultants in the West. Or keep an eye on Eventbrite or speak to your consultants about classes that are upcoming. This is terrific. We've had some great recommendations and ideas for future classes, Lulu.
Okay, I think I can switch this off.
They're enjoying that cooking. All right. I've done the poll. Thank you. End polling. Thanks everyone for answering.
We just take that one then.
Lulu, we're back to you.
Yeah, we're just going back to the other room.
Oh, excellent. We'll see you in there. Excellent. Sorry, there's a message. I'm sorry, guys.
Okay, can you guys hear us okay?
Sure can.
Excellent. So so we've got a little bit served up. I figure it's close to dinner time. Thank you. Yeah, so we have beautiful, I forgot to put the coriander on.
Oh, that's all right.
Yeah. We might make a start, but lovely to everyone. Thank you everyone for coming and joining us. And yeah, any questions for Smita or I? If anyone's interested in booking a cooking experience so you can cook some food in your own kitchen, your consultant, let your consultant know, or if you're wanting to be put in contact with the consultant, let us know. And I'm going to try this.
Yeah, you could reach me on Smita's Food Charm. So I go by the same name on Facebook and Insta both.
Thanks, Smita. I put the link to your blog and your Insta up there too on the chat, in the chat. So Smita's Food Charm.
That is absolutely delicious, and this, you can just feel that healing with turmeric
so
latte. It's quite sweet too. I can't wait to try this roti bread with the mint.
Go on, break one open. We're all dying to see.
Yeah. Oh, do you want to?
Yeah.
Oh, you want one?
No, I'll take my own.
We'll take your right. All right. Wow. It's beautiful and crisp on the outside, and that hint of mint is just really refreshing. And the cheese. Oh,
Remember?
can't go wrong with
Very
cheese.
good. Looks fantastic.
And it's
All right.
inside and crisp outside.
It is. That is just divine. Well, thank you everyone for joining us. I hope you really enjoyed yourselves. Is there any questions? We can't see the chat, so come off mute and ask us.
So we've had a few people thank you for the time today and saying how much they enjoyed it. Very interested in cooking some naan bread soon. And we've got the Facebook page, as we said, Smita's Charm. Yep. Thank you everyone for coming on. It's been really good to have everyone here on this cool and wet afternoon in Melbourne. and perhaps a sunnier one in New Zealand and in Queensland. All right. No more questions?
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you again, everyone. Thank you so much, Lulu and Smitta. It's been really lovely hearing all of those hints and tips and learning how to make those dishes. I'm sure they're going to be high on people's menu lists for this week.
Yeah.
Take care. Have a lovely afternoon. And everyone, stay safe and have a great afternoon. We'll see you at the next one.
Yeah. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone. Excellent. So we're still around. If you're bored and want to have a chat, take yourself off mute. How are you, Liz?
I'm good, thanks, Lulu. I'm sorry, Suzanne.
That's all right. It's hard to tell who's speaking.
Yeah, no, really good, really good. And I love the class. I'll be making some naan, and I'm going to do that chicken tonight for dinner, actually. So,
Terrific. It looks really good. Lulu is just around the corner near where your daughter lives, Liz. So I'm going to pop round and pick up some naan in a minute, I think.
oh, wow.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I'm going to contact you through the week again, Suzanne, so we can chat.
Excellent. Sounds good.
Oh, yeah.
That's
So
great.
links, yeah. We will. We can email everyone the link to Smitta's blog. What Insta and lots of stuff on Insta for Smitta.
Oh, yeah.
Smitta's Food Charm. Definitely check that one out.
May, did you enjoy the class? I think you're on mute. That's why I can't hear you. I hope you enjoyed it.
Is May here, is she?
Yeah, I can see her on the screen.
Huh.
So not May, so not consultant May, customer May.
Oh, right. Hi, May. I can see your photo.
And I think just next to you, you've got Thermomix written in your, let's see if I can unmute you.
Oh,
That's all right. Anyway, look, we should head off. Good to hear that you're going to make this, Liz. I'd like to maybe pop a post up on Inner West Thermomixes and let us know how you go with it.
Okay, no worries. Yep.
Am I still muted now?
Oh, no, there you are, May. How are you going?
Yeah. Oh, pretty good, thanks, love. Yeah, my daughter asked me, do I want to watch it? And I said, yes, I'll have a look at it. I don't mind looking at them.
It's nice, isn't
I
it?
can't buy one. I mean, I'm 90 this year, so I don't think I'd love it. When I was younger, I would have loved it. But not now. I wouldn't get the use out of it because I don't do any cooking or very little. But my daughter's very, very happy with it. My granddaughter's very happy with it. So, and now another granddaughter's just bought one. So there you go.
there you go. Well, it's
They're
lovely.
all really happy with it. So that's good, hey? Yeah.
Did you enjoy
But
it?
I enjoy watching the program, yes.
Oh, that's good.
Yes, I did enjoy it very much.
Awesome.
Terrific. Well, thanks for coming along.
Okay, thank you very
Excellent.
much for
Have a
doing
great
it.
rest of the weekend.
Okay. You
All right,
too,
ladies.
darling.
Thank
Okay.
you. See you later, Liz.
Thanks
See
a
you,
lot.
May.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay. Love. Yeah, bye-bye, love. Bye. Bye, girls.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, I gotta go yet. Gotta get off it yet.
All good.
All right. I might stop the recording now. So thank you, everybody.